Hello YouTube land. I'm filming this video in my car in front of my daughter's daycare because I feel like I just couldn't wait anymore. I wanted to do it last night, but I was so tired and I guess I just couldn't be bothered to do it. I just want to really vlog about my Hoshimoto's experience. I feel like this is the time because I've pretty much hit rock bottom. I haven't taken my medication in 2 months. I'm tired all the time. My whole body hurts and it aches. I have migraines like you just would not believe. I just got out of work. I'm like totally a hot mess right now. I don't know if you could see, but I'm like breaking out really bad, kind of all over the place too, and that's all kind of part of it. This is kind of the worst it's ever been, really. I've gained a ton of weight. I've always been big, but I think my last visit to the doctor, I was up to like 320 pounds, and I'm 5'11", so it's a lot. My hair is falling out in clumps. I don't know if you can see here in the video, but like I have a huge bald spot back here behind my head that just is getting bigger and bigger every day. Nothing seems to work. I was diagnosed maybe about 5 years ago. I think I've had it probably my whole life though. I've struggled with these problems, all the symptoms, for as long as I can remember. Even back in high school, younger, I think right about the time when someone normally hits puberty. I was a late bloomer, but probably about 10 or 12 is when all the symptomatic stuff started happening. The weight gain and, you know, the achiness and all this stuff. And I remember being told by doctors like, well, you're too young to be complaining about these aches and pains and stuff like that. And you need to just drink more water. You need to go out and play more. You need to run more and that kind of stuff. And I'm very active. I'm a very active person. I have a very active job. I work 12-hour shifts 5 to 6 days a week. I do a lot of lifting. I do a lot of walking. I mean, some of the time I'm damn near jogging. I average between 10 and 14,000 steps a day. So I've never been a very sedentary person. And you can see, okay, I'm not a small girl by any means. But my name is Amber, by the way. Here's my name tag. I think the time that I noticed it, the first time that I thought, okay, something's wrong, I was in college, other than just thinking I was heavy, you know, and achy for whatever reason. And I was taking the train home. At the time I lived with my parents, and I was on the train and I just got like very lightheaded, very dizzy, like the sweats all of a sudden, and like hot but like cold, and it was just a very weird experience. And then I kind of blacked out. Like for a second my eyes, like I got the twinkles and it went all fuzzy, and then I blacked out for a second. That was a really scary experience for me. Like, I mean, I was on the train, you know, God knows what could have happened to me. So I went to the doctor and they tested me for, you know, thyroid disease, and they said, well, you know, you're borderline, so you don't really have it. And then nothing was done about it. I was kind of like, well, what do you want me to do? You know, you should try to lose some weight. Maybe you'll feel better. You should drink more water. You should eat less. Now, for the record, I average about 1,200 calories a day. So, I mean, I don't eat a lot. I get my blood work done regularly. Early on, I had some kind of jobs where I didn't really have a set doctor. I kind of bounced around a lot, and I went through tests, and I did this, and I did that, and everybody was kind of telling me that there was nothing wrong with me, making me feel like I was faking it, which is kind of worse than anything else. I mean, I had been put on like antidepressants, I had been put on anti-anxieties, and all kinds of just other stuff that it didn't help. It didn't do anything. Some of it made it worse. So I just kind of gave up, like, okay, I guess this is how I'm gonna feel for the rest of my life. And in a fluke, I had seen a doctor one time. She was a really great doctor and I really liked her, but my job didn't cover, the insurance, she didn't take my insurance, so I couldn't go see her regularly. I think I saw her at our visit or something. Sorry, I can't talk today. So I got a new job almost 6 years ago now, and the first thing I looked at was, does she take my insurance? And she did. So I was like super happy, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to the doctor. So I called and they're like, well, she's not taking appointments or new people anymore, but her associate is, and you can go to him, and maybe once you get in here, she'll take you. She wasn't taking new patients, so I was stuck with the other guy. And he is 6 years now, my doctor. He is an amazing doctor. He's probably the first doctor I've ever had in my life who I felt like just sit and listen to me, and it was like, okay, well, if you're feeling this way, this is a problem and we need to do something about it. Even if you don't have a thyroid disease, even if you don't have a problem, we need to find something that's going to make you feel better, because you shouldn't have to live like this. And I was like, thank God somebody actually cares. So he ran all these tests, and he said my thyroid was worse than he's ever seen in his career. I think my T3 level was like a 45. And if you know anything about thyroid levels, the lower the better. Normal is below like a 3, a 4. So yeah, it was pretty bad. The good news is and still, thank goodness, I don't have any swelling on, slightly enlarged, but nothing that they're worried about. So I take Synthroid. I've been on that for a while. I go up and up and up and up, and it seems to work for a little while, and then it seems to not work. It's like my body gets used to it, and then it just stops working, which is why I think I stopped taking the medication. I think I just got frustrated. I don't know. I'm just frustrated. Is it okay to be just frustrated with your situation? My doctor, he told me if he saw me on paper, all these tests that he did, he would have thought I was an athlete. My doctor is very athletic, and he said I have better test results than he does, except the thyroid. So it's very frustrating for someone who eats healthy and works out regularly. I do go to the gym. Like I said, I have a very active job as well. I have 2 little ones that I run around after like a crazy person, and to be 300 pounds, and the looks and like the little comments, or the, oh, you have such a pretty face, you'd be so pretty if you lost some weight, and stuff like that. It's aggravating. Before I knew I had Hashimoto's, I was really upset. Like, I was really trying. I really wanted to lose weight, so I had employed a very expensive personal trainer. It was like $200 a session, and I was doing that 3 times a week. And I was at the gym every day. 7 days a week for hours. Like, to the point where they would come up and have conversations with me like, look, you need to slow down. You need to go home. You've been on the treadmill for 4 hours now. And then I would go to work, and I would come back, and I would do these very intensive cardio workouts and very intensive weightlifting workouts, and working out with a trainer. And it was just so frustrating, because I had one trainer. It was the reason why I stopped seeing a trainer, because they're like, well, you're not losing weight. You can't be working out like this and not be losing weight, so we need to start doing a food journal. So I did, and like I said, I don't eat a lot, so I was accused of lying. He said, if you're gonna just lie about this, then you're only hurting yourself. You need to be writing everything down. If you're not actually writing down all the food you eat, then you're cheating yourself here. Why are you paying us to do this with you if you're just gonna lie? And I was so upset, like I cried, like, I'm not lying to you. So I got a different trainer, and she said, well, something's wrong. You need to go to the doctor. Maybe she said, I'm not a doctor, and I can't tell you what to do. I'm just saying you need to go and tell him this, and tell him, show him these food diaries. And she's like, I believe you. So finally I had someone who believed me. She told me, according to what I was eating, that I wasn't even eating enough to sustain my workouts, because that's how much I was working out, on top of having a job and, at the time, 1 child. And like I said, I've had doctors just accuse me of lying about it, and it's, you know, and then I think, like, I've let myself go this bad. Like, I'm, you know, like I said, I'm 300 pounds. That's a big number, okay? No woman on this world wants to be 300 pounds, even though I'm 5'11". You know, I want to wear a bikini, and that's, I could fit a bikini on one of my thighs, girlfriend, okay? It's never going to happen. But then you have people who are like, well, you know, maybe you should put down the cheeseburger, or, you know, shit like that. It just, it's pardon my language, I'm sorry. It's really annoying, you know, to work so hard. So I'm reading this book, and I can't remember the name. I'm sorry, I apologize. I'll mention it again in my next video. But it's saying that, you know, the thyroid disease is more like a virus and all of this stuff. And I'm paraphrasing because I'm not good at remembering this stuff. You know, thyroid brain, sorry. So it suggests all this stuff and that you should do. Oh, look, I'm breaking out too. I get rashes and everything from it. It's really fun. It's a great thing to have. Anyway, so I've put myself on a diet, which makes me just like super miserable because, like I said, I don't eat a lot to begin with. So I've cut out like all of my guilty pleasures. I don't drink any pop. I mean, I never really drink a lot of pop. Like, I would have maybe like 1 can a day at most, and most of the time I didn't finish it. I would take a couple sips and put it in the fridge. Well, I've cut all that out. I'm drinking only water, no juice, cutting out most of the carbs, you know, watching my fat, watching my sodium, watching my sugar, all that stuff. Like a very serious, you know, serious anti-fun diet. It's bikini season. Anyway, so I'm going to start taking my medication again before anybody gripes about it. I'm going to get it right after I pick up my daughter from the kindergarten here. I'm sure she like has her spidey sense going. It's like, Mama's outside and she's talking and not paying attention to me. She's going to be extra angry. So I just want to bring whoever is along on this journey to see, like, does it really help? Is management with the pills and the diet and the drinking a gallon of water a day, is it gonna help? Is it gonna make a difference? Am I gonna feel better? You know, is there anything out there that's gonna make me not feel like I'm dying every day? Because if there is, I want to know about it. And anybody who's watching this, if you're out there and you have suggestions, or you just want to gripe about how frustrated you are, reach out to me. I'm a regular person. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to anybody. I'm very friendly. Okay, I'm crabby, but I'm very friendly. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. I don't know, I'm supposed to say that, right? Like, subscribe, hit that bell. I watch too many YouTube videos. I know what they all say. Do all that stuff. Thank you for watching.